What's up? I'm Captain Mel Asylum, and here's another sip of Galactic Tea. Lovecraft Country. This show is more fantasy than science fiction, and I'm not apologizing because I don't care. It's my channel. I'll talk about if I want to, and if you want to stick around, you are most certainly welcome. Lovecraft Country is a response to H.P. Lovecraft, whose writing is, stories writing, it's very, very, very pretty racist. I've only read one of his stories, The Call to Cthulhu, and it was hard to get through. And it's not like blatantly, I'm a hurt people that's not like me. It's just accepting the fact that people who aren't like him aren't necessarily people. And they are completely comfortable with the weird and strange and the things that make all of the people scared and lose their mind is everyday normal stuff for all of the melanated people. This was a huge shock to a lot of people who really liked Lovecraft because he didn't outright do it. It's just really, really obvious, which means he outright did it, but it's more the fact from what I got out of it, what I just said, and hearing him give all this backstory and name and title and personhood to the Americans who are lacking melanin, and then everyone else is just a race, and they're okay with the craziness that would make you insane. And let's now talk about Lovecraft Country, which does the complete opposite, but also not really, because everybody who is a character is a fully fleshed out person, which makes it much better writing already than Lovecraft. Lovecraft does a good job of being creepy, does a good job of giving you the existential creepiness. And that's it. That's it. At least that's my opinion from what little bit I've read, being it's just a one book. But in contrast to Lovecraft Country, that's what I get. So, Lovecraft Country takes place in 1955 during Jim Crow, and you follow a family, whether they are blood related or just, family, because family is more than just blood, through a very strange situation involving magic and science fiction and normal life, like Jim Crow, escaping, people trying to unalive them, and people trying to unalive them with normal means like guns and stuff, not magic. And then there's people unaliving people with the magic. There's there's people feeling like they're being unalive. The one side story that is connected, so many side stories, and they're all connected, and I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not reading my notes. I've read them before I started, and then I just went off, so I'm just going off. We have a side story speculating a black woman's role in society, how racism affects the abilities that people have. We have that story, and then another story with Hippolyta, who is not able to live up to their potential because society puts them in this little box and says, you're going to be this, and that's how we're going to see you as, despite all of the effort, all of the knowledge, all of the you've done more to get to where you need to be, and we still won't let you go there. And that hurts a lot, because even today we have people doing that to each other, and obviously that's people doing, Like you may have someone who is melanated, and their family will tell them, no, don't do that. Why would you do that? They're not going to let you do that. Or that's not what we do. Or you need to worry about getting a job before you go exploring things that you actually like. I've literally heard someone, I worked with someone who was angry at their grandchild for wanting to go to Europe and study history after getting a scholarship and to go to Europe to study history instead of doing the everyday normal stuff that they were already doing, which is terribly depressing to me. Like, why would you restrict your kids like that? But it's that crabs in the barrel type mentality. The magic that kills, the magic that hurts to the point that people don't hurt anymore because they're not around. Don't know how to say these things anymore. The monsters that are created through this is the magic is very Lovecraftian because it is Lovecraft stories. It is inspired by the Lovecraft stories and the way that Lovecraft created his existential horrors. And then we get to counter that with African spirituality, African American spirituality. Some when I hear the witch doctor say the names of the Orisha, I'm like, yes. And a lot of people are like, no, like, why would you do that? Like, you need Jesus. I'm like, but a lot of people forget that it was slavery that gave us Christianity. It was appropriation that gave Europe Christianity. That was a Middle Eastern religion. That is the religion that was created in Palestine, and now everybody thinks it's theirs. Or there's a lot of people who think that it needs to belong to everybody when we all have cultures that we come from, and I don't think we should scoff any of them. And this did a beautiful job of showing voodoo and African spirituality without the negative. It was used for protection. And a lot of times in media, we see voodoo as the demonic, as the evil, even when people are just trying to protect themselves. Like, we could see where some parts of American culture would see it as bad because it was bad for them, because one, they want to, convert, and two, they were probably using what spirituality they didn't know to protect themselves from the harm that was being done. That makes sense, right? Another reason why a lot of supernatural I don't believe, because if it was, whoever you prayed to should have did something about that whole situation. Like, in the 2 months it took you to get over on the boat, whoever you prayed to could have did something. And then the 400 years after that, still praying to somebody else, still nobody does nothing. We're the only ones doing anything, really. But still, very happy to see other cultures, especially the cultures that are being demonstrated, the African American culture, actually show their actual spirituality and not just the spirituality that was given to them by the people who are harming them. This show gave so much representation of Black people in general. Like, you had nerdy Black people, you had gay Black people, you had adventurous Black people, you had strong Black people, you had scared Black people, you had so many different types of people in a speculative fiction, speculative sci-fi fantasy. And I was a little disappointed to find out that the writer wasn't Black, but also this guy is obviously an ally. Like, he didn't make anybody look like everything and everyone was a fleshed out character. Except for maybe like the monsters. We didn't really know the monsters very well. They were very mysterious. They're Lovecraftian monsters. They're supposed to be. So, again, I thought that was well done. So, would I watch it again in a few years? Yeah, I'm gonna give myself a few years to forget it and then rewatch it so I can enjoy it again because I really liked it. It was kind of a fun watch, even though again I am not into being scared or getting scared or watching a lot of scary stuff. I do appreciate horror, especially when it's speculative horror, uh, because I like speculative stuff. So that is my review of Lovecraft Country. I'm supposed to talk about what I liked about it and didn't like about it, and this whole video has been about what I liked about it. I think the only, well, I started talking about H.P. Lovecraft, so that's the not like about it part. If you have opinions about Lovecraft Country or Lovecraft or anything horror or anything related to anything I just said in this video, please put it in the comments. I will be responding to you. And in a few years, when I have a lot of comments, I probably won't be. But for now, like within the next year in which this video comes out, I will most definitely respond to your comment. If you've gotten this far in this video, you may enjoy the Voices in Hyperspace, where me and some friends get together and talk about science fiction. I also have a book called Unrooting the System, available on Amazon. Go get yours. It's also on Unlimited, so if you want to read it for free, you can. And I would absolutely love to read your reviews and respond to them.